Less rather than 1 in 10 engineering personnel in the UK are women, the minimum percent in Europe, onto the females mechanical engineering community. Latvia, Bulgaria, and Cyprus conduct in almost 30%. There, 2 innovative women engineering personnel at Oxford College explanation which drives them. Priyanka Dhopade was mentioned as one of the top 50 female in mechanical engineering by 35 in 2017, as selected by the females mechanical engineering community. She grew up in Canada, wherever she investigated for an extent in space mechanical engineering. She finished a PhD at Monash College in Melbourne up driving to Oxford in 2013. As a kid I was really concerned in aeroplanes, and how things fly in area. I requested to be an cosmonaut. My parent offered mechanical engineering, since he's rather pragmatic. I could use my passion and my skills to do how matters. My study looks at the thermodynamic and the liquid dynamic of jet motor domestic fluid. I do a lot of computing liquid dynamic to see at the transmission of warmth within an motor and use such forecasting to assist style pioneering cool system for contemporary jet engines. Which how does is it helps to do the motor more than effective and more secure as so, and reduces the ecological effect in regulation of emissions and gas intake. If we assist to do jet engines more than effective, how's departure to include a enormous ecological effect? The pattern of an academia is who sits at their desktop and doesn't say to nobody and fair scribbles off in their workbook. But I say to so lot experimentalists and job in them to assist style these large testing means so how we can see at various aspects of the jet motor. I job in production sponsors and get their entry on the actual problems how they are cladding. I expend several period on the machine as so. I believe how's as well else item how human beings don't understand, how in our contemporary digital planet, mechanical engineering, a lot of it, is machine-based. He's not on tiring a difficult hat and creature at sight, though such roles are yet accessible for such who are brought to them. I try not to believe on it on a everyday base since I'm rather lively and I'm making exciting things, yet, sometimes, I see about and see how I'm the just female in the chamber complete of 30 or 40 men and I do discover it a bit strange. The culture, historic connotations of mechanical engineering, especially in Britain, appear to be rather various of some countries, surely in the civilization how I grew up in, that is Southward Asiatic. The subtext of an mechanical engineering career is thing rather prestigious, and boys and girls are emboldened to do it, since he's seen as a steady, useful career, financially as so. So I discover it a bit odd upcoming to Britain and vision how human beings aren't as ecstatic, he's not as prestigious or as respectable a occupation. Or, not vision quite female making it crushed my cardiac. I believe down there's so lot problems how requirement to be allowed and the problems are rather various, so the solutions as well requirement to be various. We requirement to be comprising as lot various members of community as probable, not fair female but as well various ethnicities and various socio-economic classes and disabilities, it has to be a combination force. Manufacturing parent and teaching staff aware how mechanical engineering is an exciting, useful, success career selection for girls would go a length way to growing the consumption of girls. Yet, at the identical period, we include to do things to enhance the environmental for while they do be engineering personnel. My one part pattern was my daddy, who was a mechanic engineering. Increasing up I didn't very include any some mechanical engineering part model but while I became a grade undergraduate and begun to sense more than how I was a minority group in regulation of sort, I begun to search out part model. Now I aware all of these wonderful women engineering personnel who are certainly enormous part model to me, Lovelady Ann Dowling, Professor Eleanor Stepp at Oxford and Professor Alison Nobel at Oxford. I believe they don't get as lot appearance as they merit. For youthful girls to see up to who Lovelady Ann Dowling and tell, I wish to be love her, how would do such a enormous distinction. Gladys Njidek grew up in Kenya, wherever she investigated mechanical engineering. She came to Oxford as a Rhodes scientist, and is now student for her Doctor of Philosophy. My dad was an engineering in Kenya. For holidays he would go household in spanners and mechanical engineering toolkit, hard to fix things there and down there. I believe I was entered to how mechanical engineering environmental while I was really youthful. I'm looking at increasing or upcoming up in new effective progressive cool technologies for jet engines. We are filing a patent application. How's in fact one of my ambition. To job and to go up in thing that is considerable. How is departure to include uses in the planet in regulation of manufacturing transcontinental journey secure and effective, so we use less than gas, we include less than emissions, and fair usually help human beings all above the planet. Space is man-dominated. Individually, he's not been a big issue for me since I was unborn, following 4 persons boys, and so largest of my infancy I consumable in boys. I've had part model all via my levels of formation, grammarian high school, top high school, undergraduate, and now in Oxford. I believe my largest part pattern is my overseer. Same's helping me to compose a document and folder a patent application. I sense I include already reached more than rather than I was waiting. In 5 year, I'm not certainly wherever I will be, but it will each be production, perhaps in Oxford, or I will be training.